day 1, I spawned in as a speedrunner. Oh snap! I'm Dream! I only had 100 days to defeat the Ender Dragon and beat the game, but I wasn't alone. My YouTube friends Bronzo and Princess Hana had challenged me to a manhunt, and it starts now.
You won't make it past day 5 with us on your tail.
Make it day 2! You're finished!
Ah! I gotta get some wood, and fast! The main problem was, this is hardcore Minecraft. So if I die, that's it! No redos! On day 2, I was on the run from Bronzo and Princess Hana. I had only spawned a day ago, so I had no materials. I used sprint jumping to give me a bit more edge with my speed and spotted a pond beneath a nearby cliff. Here goes nothing. I jumped over to the edge and plunged into the water below so I could avoid any fall damage. The two of them jumped down after me, but hesitated enough to buy me some time. Ooh, that'll get them off my tail for now. I used my lead to start gathering wood, enough to make a crafting bench and a wooden pickaxe.
He's over here!
And that's my signal to leave. I took out my new pickaxe and snagged my crafting bench for the road. I then started digging down as fast as I could. Each time I dug, I made sure to block any holes I created. I couldn't have them dropping on top of me. I need stone tools, and fast! I dug until finally hitting an underground cave and almost landing into a pool of lava below. And that's why you never mine straight down. But this gives me an idea. I dug around the edges of the lava pool, making the whole thing much larger than before. If the hunters want to come through the top, then they'll be out of luck. I mined forward where I put down my crafting bench. There, I made a stone pickaxe, shovel, and sword. With my new tools, I harvested more stone for my run. I knew I was gonna need it if I wanted to survive the two manhunters.
I think I'm close! I hear him mining! Aha!
Ha! That'll slow him down. Oh, cool! I was still being chased, but unfortunately for them, my trap did just a trick to get rid of Hana. I continued to mine and found some iron, which I eagerly took for later. Not too shabby. I continued further into the mines. Just then, Bronzo appeared behind me with a wooden sword. Gotcha! He got a few hits on me, but I took off running before he could land any more. On day 3, I continued to run from Bronzo, who was just a few hits away from ending my run already. Ah! All this running is dropping my hunger like crazy! My hunger was so low, I could no longer run. I didn't think it could get any worse, but out of the corner of my eye, Hana ran towards me too. What? I killed you!
Hardcore mode only affects you, not us. No matter how much you kill us, you will always spawn back.
I knew I wouldn't be able to keep this up, so I began to build upwards with all the cobblestone and dirt I had. As I built, both Hana and Bronzo caught up to me.
There's nowhere to go, Max!
You must be getting hungry. Yum, 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 yum.
I waited patiently at the top. Of course I had a plan, but I needed the right time to strike. When Bronzo was finally close enough to me, I jumped on top of him and knocked him off of his tower.
Oh no.
Upon his death, Bronzo dropped me all of his loot. I dug down as far as I could, but both of my pickaxes broke.
Where are you gonna go now, Max?
Away from you! I looked at my surroundings and spotted a nearby body of water, then built outwards towards it using the cobblestone I had. Once I had built far enough, I noticed Hana was still chasing me. I jumped into the water and went to retrieve all of Bronzo's loot for myself. Whoa, look at all this stuff! And even some cooked meat! Don't mind if I do. I scarfed down some of the food and ran off.
Dang it! Where'd he go?
I hid for a bit, and once the coast was clear, I placed down the furnace I got and used the coal to smelt the iron I found. I knew I needed another pickaxe, so once the iron was smelted, I used it to make a new one. Next, I spotted some iron ore next to me. I mined it with my new pickaxe and returned to my furnace. When I returned, I smelted the rest of the iron and made myself a bucket and a stone axe for later. Once I was done, I took the furnace and crafting bench with me. Gotta be sure to cover all my tracks. On days 4 through 7, I traveled in search of a village. On the way, I came across a field of chickens and cows, which I slayed for their meat, feathers, and leather. I then took the time to make myself a leather helmet. I'll need all the armor I can get. I traveled through the night and killed some spiders for string, as well as found some gravel to shovel for flint and sand to keep for future crafting projects. Using all of my new materials, I crafted a bow and a scarce amount of arrows for offensive protection. I made sure to use an extra flint to craft myself some flint and steel. One step closer to a nether portal. Finally, I gathered some water using the bucket I crafted a couple days prior. After a lot of traveling, I arrived at a village. However, something about it felt off. Where are all the villagers? I checked the house for beds, but there was not a single one to be found. I smell a trap. I turned around to find both Hana and Bronzo decked out head to toe in iron armor.
Well, looks like we've got you right where we want you.
You're not finishing this challenge, Max. Just give up peacefully.
I'm having too much fun. You'll have to try harder than that. I quickly placed some water at the door so they couldn't get inside and began to mine upwards to the roof.
Get him!
I built up and scaled from house to house, trying to avoid their clutches. While I was there, I gathered as much wood as I could.
Stop messing around. We're gonna catch you.
They began to build up, but luckily I had my arrows to keep them at bay. Once I had enough materials, I made myself a boat. Unfortunately for me, Hana took that time to finally catch up and knock me off the roof. I ran as fast as I could towards the river and used the boat to make my escape. I gotta be careful. On days 8 through 11, I traveled into the ocean in my boat. I made sure I used the third-person perspective so I could better see what sorts of things were under the surface of the water. To my luck, I spotted a sunken ship. Cannonball! I dove into the water to investigate and found a golden apple, gold, iron, and a fishing rod. Perfect! I started to ascend to the surface. However, once I got a breath of fresh air, I spotted another boat waiting for me.
It's too cramped in here. I'm taking Max's boat.
Not good. I ducked back underwater and used my crafting bench to make myself a door. I placed it to create an air pocket and waited for my chance to leave.
He's got to come up eventually.
Yep, let's stay put.
Ugh, my final time is gonna suffer. Think, Max, think. The more I waited, the more suspicious the two of them got.
Shouldn't he be coming up by now?
Yeah, let's go check it out.
The two of them dove into the water, so I got to digging. Once I was far enough down, I placed the door and added a block above my head so the water wouldn't seep in. I then broke the door and continued digging with no risk of drowning. Big brain move. On days 12 through 15, I dug until I finally found myself inside a cave system. I went ahead and crafted some torches so I could better light my path. Guess this is a good time to explore. I traversed through the underground caverns and found more coal and iron for my troubles. I used the materials to craft an iron helmet and boots as well as an additional bucket. I thought I was done, but suddenly I discovered 2 veins of diamond. I mined it quickly using my iron pickaxe and crafted diamond leggings. This'll help a ton. Once my journey was finally complete, I escaped the tunnel and swam back to the top of the ocean. Looks like I lost them. I pressed onwards to find another village or some sheep I could shear to make beds. On days 16 through 19, I swam back to shore and discovered a desert. Not gonna find any sheep here. I traveled across the desert until I found a pyramid. Okay, so that's gotta have some good loot. I went inside and opened all the chests I could, being sure not to set off any of the ancient TNT traps. There, I found more gold and even another saddle. With my new goodies, I headed to the top of the building, but once I exited, Bronzo was there waiting for me with an army of robots. Whoa, Bronzo? What the heck is this?
Hey Max, meet my Bronzo bots. They're state-of-the-art and designed to hunt. You like them?
Is this legal?
Probably not, but it makes the video more exciting. Get 'em, boys!
Bronzo's army charged forward. I ran back inside of the pyramid and blocked off the entrance to buy more time. Come on, gotta think! I quickly built a path to a hole in the ground for the bots to fall into.
Come on, bots, get in there! Get out of the way! I'll do it!
Bronzo broke down the wall for the horde and followed along with them. However, the only one that fell was Bronzo himself. He met his untimely demise in the hole below. When he hit the ground, he blew to smithereens thanks to the TNT. Sorry! Hope that didn't sting! On days 20 through 23, I finally arrived in a desert village, but this one was populated with villagers. Perfect! I could finally get those beds I needed. I ran around to all the homes in the village, taking beds to use for later.
Honey, why is there a strange boy stealing beds from our homes?
I don't know, dear. I think it's best we don't question it.
Once I had all the beds I needed, I gathered all the hay bales I could find. I then used most of it to get wheat and crafted the wheat into bread for my future endeavors. I saved a few just in case I needed to save myself from falling to my death later. While I was crafting, I also made a new boat to replace the one I lost. No more smelting time lost for me. As I was wrapping up, I spotted an iron golem wandering around the village. You would have been useful earlier. Oh well, I built up 3 blocks so the golem couldn't touch me and crit him down for some additional iron. I used that iron to make myself a shield. I'd like to see Bronzo and Hana stop me now.
Wish granted.
Suddenly, Hana came running at me with a diamond sword. Uh-oh. See ya! I sprint jumped away, but Hana was no pushover. She chased after me close behind. I would have stopped to fight her, but I knew I didn't have the weapons to outclass her. I ran until I found a massive pit in the ground. Here goes nothing. I jumped into the pit and placed down a hay bale just before hitting the ground, keeping me from taking any fall damage. I hopped out, broke the hay bale, and ducked into a hiding spot just as Hana was passing by.
Darn, I lost him again.
Yeesh, that was close! On days 24 through 27, I needed to find some lava. My next mission was to make a nether portal. I explored around, grabbing some water on the way. This water is essential for speedrunning. I had an idea to keep the hunters off my tail, so I smelted some stone to place down for a future trap. I then grabbed the little amount of stone that I needed, collected my furnace, and kept moving. I then ventured underground to lay low, but when I got there, I was confronted by a group of creepers. Not good! I fought them off with a few close calls, almost blowing me up to Kingdom Come. Finishing off the rest, I collected their gunpowder to use use for later. I can make some TNT with this. I continued to explore, coming across more diamonds. Score! I was about to mine it until I heard footsteps in the distance. Sorry, diamonds. It's time to lay a trap. I quickly mined down, creating a long hole underneath the diamond. I then filled in the surrounding hole with the stone I smelted to make it look not suspicious. They won't see this coming. Whoever it was, they were moving closer.
Ooh, don't mind if I do.
Sounds like Hana took the bait.
What the?
She mined through and fell into the hole just as planned. Thanks for the easy loot, Hana. Gimme! I gathered her goodies and kept moving. On days 28 through 31, I finally discovered a lava pool within the desert. Dang, I saw so many pools earlier in this run. I can't believe it took this long. I began to make my nether portal by placing a cobblestone block into the lava. I plan to do the speedrun strat so all my diamonds can go to armor instead of a pickaxe. I completed the bottom of the portal, then prepped my water for the rest of the build. I gradually added lava to my pillar of water, building up my portal block by block. Almost there. Suddenly, Bronzo ran up and scooped up my water with another bucket.
Not so fast, Max.
He took out his sword and began to try and knock me into the lava pool. I took out my extra materials and began to build outwards onto the lava.
Come back here, chicken!
Come and get me! Once he was close, I built 2 blocks in front of him and climbed on top of the pillar for a height advantage. I managed to crit him into the lava instead. That was close. I wanted to retrieve the bucket of water he stole, but unfortunately it burned with him in the lava. Dang it! I have to get more water! On days 32 through 34, I set off to find more water for my portal. It wasn't long before I came across a body of it and refilled my bucket. Alright, now time to go back. Hope this doesn't hurt my time too much. Just then, Hana popped out of nowhere decked out in new armor, including diamond leggings, boots, and a helmet. What the heck? How are you so lucky?
I know, right? Looks like I'm a diamond magnet.
I took off running, but I couldn't shake her off my tail. We ran until finally going into a nearby cave. I knew she was gonna catch up at this rate, so I had to make a trap if I wanted to stop her. I found a narrow passageway and took the steps needed to set up my trap. I hope this works. Just then, Hana came around the corner.
Why are you just standing there? Did you finally give up?
Nope, come and get me. Hana ran towards me at full speed. However, after she jumped over the block I had set, she fell into my trap below. I got in a few hits with my sword and took off running before she could build out. Eek, that was too close for comfort. With Hana out of my hair, I returned to the lava pit to find my portal was still intact. I used my water to add the finishing touches and lit it with my flint and steel. It's nether time. On days 35 through 38, I finally arrived at the nether. First order of business, finding more gold. I began exploring the surrounding area looking for necessary supplies. I came across some warp fungus that might be useful for later. I could use this to ride some striders. I placed the fungus onto my fishing rod, making a lure for the striders when I'm able to ride them. Before I had a chance to use it though, I was attacked by ghasts. I fought them off as best I could with the limited amount of supplies I had. Using my expert bow skills, I managed to take out the last one. Once they were all defeated, I ate some food and continued on my way. While traveling, I used my boat and hay bales when falling from great heights or traversing the lava to stay alive. To my luck, I haven't found any gold yet. I then stumbled upon a soul sand valley. I began hopping across it until Bronzo showed up out of nowhere. How did you guys catch up so fast?
We knew you'd come to the nether next, so I got Hana and I our own portal.
I began running away while using blocks to traverse over the soul sand even faster. When I was out of his reach, I started digging underground and using netherrack to cover my tracks. They ran by without a clue of where I went. That was close. Better keep moving. On days 39 through 42, I finally came across some gold. It's about time! I plopped down a crafting bench and began turning the gold nuggets into gold bars. It's not enough, but it's a start. I used some of the gold ingots I had to make gold boots. I didn't want any piglins attacking me when I eventually came across them. Continuing the trek through the nether was brutal. I fought various mobs as I went, hoping to find another fortress to aid my speedrun. After some time and lots of searching, the fortress finally revealed itself. Oh yeah, it's blaze rod time!
You wish.
To my surprise, Hana was right on my tail and ready to fight. Ugh, come on guys, I just found the nether fortress.
Even more reason to stop you! You're getting too close to finishing this challenge!
Just like that, they rushed into battle. They were tough, dwindling my armor and health down as much as they could. I did my best to evade them to conserve as much energy as possible. Unfortunately, they pushed me too close to a cliff edge and managed to knock me off. I managed to catch myself on a wall using one of my hay bales to lessen the impact of the fall.
What the? He didn't die! Let's go around and get him!
I began scaling up towards the fortress to get inside. Ooh, I was almost toast. On days 40 43 through 46, I entered the Nether Fortress. Alright, time to slay some blazes. While exploring around, I found that some of the rooms were made of obsidian. Huh, this is kinda sussy. I walked inside to check it out and found wither skeletons waiting for me. Whoops, wrong room, sorry. I turned around to leave, but just then, Hana showed up to block the entrance with an iron door.
Have fun with your new roommates!
I was now trapped inside with no choice but to fight off the mob. Using swift tricks to evade their attacks, I won the battle. I broke down the door and found Hana waiting for me in the hallway.
Hey, how'd you live?
I am Speed! Hana continued to chase me through the fortress and eventually into another enclosure full of magma cubes. Hey, no, not again!
Sorry.
She placed down another door, trapping me inside another room full of mobs. Great. I did my best to keep them at bay and try to get out faster. Stay back! Stay back! They started to become overwhelming, so I had no choice but to make a run for it and break down the door. No more obsidian rooms! I finally came across a normal room, but Hana was already inside waiting for me.
No!
Ah! Are you kidding me? She chased me through and through, never giving me an inch. Eventually, I managed to get her off my tail and flee. On days 47 through 50, I became super cautious about where I went inside the Nether Fortress. The hunters could be around any corner that I turned. Alright, now it's time for blaze rods. I came across a blaze spawner and began picking them off one by one until I got lucky enough to get some rods. Once I had enough blaze rods, I took a minute to place down a crafting bench and make some TNT for later. After I grabbed my bench, Hana found me.
Aha! No more running, your time is up!
She chased me until I became cornered, so I had no choice but to fight it out. We fought, but she was tougher than she looked. She slashed me down with her sword and managed to knock me over the edge towards the lava below. Not again! As I plummeted, I noticed a strider walking out on the lava below. With some quick thinking, I took out a saddle and mounted it before falling into the pool. Woohoo! Good thing I have this warp fungus on a stick. I took out my fungus on a stick and rode over the lava. Hana couldn't do anything to stop me.
Me and Bronzer are gonna catch you, mark my words!
I made my way to a body of land and got off my strider. Don't move, I'll be right back. I left the red little guy and kept moving. It wasn't long before I heard strange noises coming from nearby. Hello? Hana? Bronzo? If you're here to stop me, it isn't gonna work. Just then, the Wither emerged.
I'm here to stop you, and I will be victorious.
What the heck? The Wither? How are you even here? You have to be summoned.
I was in fact summoned.
Hana and Bronzo. But why didn't you just kill them?
I was going to at first, but then they told me your little bet. I love winning bets. Let's fight.
The Wither charged me, and our battle began. It flew up into the air and rained explosive Wither skulls onto me from above. Not only did they deal massive damage, but they also destroyed the netherrack beneath my feet. Thankfully, I had my bow and arrows to fend them off. After a long battle, I knew I wasn't gonna win. I had to escape if I was ever gonna finish this run.
I'll get you, Max. Mark my words. You'll die by the Wither's hand.
Ugh, this guy stinks. I hopped back on my strider and continued my search for piggies. On days 51 through 54, I rode the strider to shore and set off to search for some piglins to barter with. Here, piggy piggy! I traveled for a while, eventually finding a whole group of them. Hey guys! To no surprise though, Hana and Bronzo popped out and killed them all in one fell swoop.
That's like bartering with pork chops.
They started to chase me, but I was able to pretty quickly evade them. Ugh, I guess I'll have to find more? I continued to travel to groups of piglets, but each one would just be killed by Hana or Bronzo. Ugh, this isn't working! I had no choice but to keep moving. After some walking, I found the largest group of piglins yet. Like clockwork, Hana and Bronzo showed up, but this time I had an idea.
Give up, Max. You're not trading with these guys.
Yeah, you're right. Come and get me.
Gladly.
The hunters ran at me, so I quickly darted into the group of piglins. Hana went in to strike, but accidentally struck one of the demon piggies instead.
Uh-oh.
Like magic, all the piglins began to attack Hana and Bronzo.
Ah, there's too many to kill. Ah!
And with that, the piglins slayed both of the hunters. Alright, time to trade. On days 55 through 57, with the manhunters killed, I returned to the group of piglins. Using some of my cobblestone, I blocked off one piglin to start a trade. I began to barter with them for ender pearls, but my RNG stunk. What? All of that gold and no ender pearls? This is the worst part of the run. With my tail tucked between my legs, I went to go get more gold. Luckily, I was able to find a decent bit more pretty quickly. Unluckily for me, Bronzo showed up again.
You breathed your last breath, Max. Face the fury of my Bronzo Bots 2.0.
Are we really doing this again?
Hey, this is my latest model. Attack my children!
The bots all snapped into kill mode, chasing me down. I had to think fast. I ran towards a large lava lake, building out onto it with any spare blocks I had. Once I'd made it out a decent distance, I built a small square platform. Hey, bolt braids, over here! Without thinking, the bots ran onto the bridge and then my square platform. I ran from it, breaking the ground as I went. They were now stuck on their own little island.
No, my babies!
Bronzo quickly rushed towards his robot's aid, so I again got out of there as quickly as I could. On days 58 through 61, I still needed more gold, but mining and smelting wasn't gonna cut it. I need to find a bastion. After a lot of running and jumping, I managed to find one. I quickly made an iron pickaxe and got to work. I grabbed as many gold blocks as possible. While doing so though, I caught Hana doing the same. Hey, this is my goal!
Not for long!
She then sprang forward, attacking me. Another one of our intense battles began. We traded sword slashes back and forth, both of us refusing to yield. I knew if I kept this up I would die, so I had to get creative. Moving quick, I took the fight off to a cliff's edge. I jumped off the cliff, clutching with some TNT.
Max, I'm coming for you!
She attempted to jump down, but I lit the TNT, causing her to fall. I also had to make a quick getaway though. Sorry! Whew. That was a close one. With Hana dealt with, I returned to the piglet. I then turned all of my gold blocks into gold ingots. I should have done this from the start. On days 62 through 65, I finished bartering with the piglet, finally getting enough ender pearls. Finally! Time to get crafting. I returned to my crafting bench, making some blaze powder and eyes of ender. I'm so close to beating the ender dragon. Just then, Hana and Bronzo ran up to me.
Not if we have something to say about it.
I booked it, and they began to chase after me. The chase took the three of us through multiple biomes in the nether. No matter what I did, I couldn't get them off my tail. Come on, Max. Think! As I ran, I set fire to the netherrack around me as a way to slow them down.
Ouch! That's not going to stop much!
I continued to run, turning a corner and jumping into a nearby hole in the wall. To my surprise, a nether portal was inside. Whoa, this isn't the one I came through. I quickly jumped in, making my escape. On days 66 through 70, I arrived at the other end of the portal. I was in Bronzo and Hana's base. Oh, this must be the portal they used to get to the nether. It was now my turn to sabotage. I quickly mined their base for any materials I needed. After that, I rummaged through their chests, taking diamond, some potions, and some of their food. Yummy cookies! I didn't realize how much time had passed until it was too late. Hana and Bronzo were returning to their base. Oh no! I quickly dug a hole to hide underground. Please don't find me, please don't find me! They started searching the place for me, so I did my best to stay still.
Wait a second, my diamonds are gone!
It must have been Max.
Don't move. Achoo!
Did the floor just sneeze?
They dug in my hiding spot, quickly finding me. Hi?
Get him!
They started ganging up on me in the hole, but I managed to get out pretty easily. I'm getting out of here! As I ran, I passed a group of creepers and had an idea. Try to avoid this one. I lit one of the creepers on fire, blowing up the group just as Bronzo and Hana reached it. Okay, I'm safe for now. On days 71 through 74, I was low on health after my run-in with Hana and Bronzo, so I decided to take a moment to recover. I better start prepping for the Ender Dragon. I started by getting rid of any items I didn't need. My inventory was clustered from the speedrun, so I needed to conserve as much space as possible. Next, I made sure I had 10 beds for the Ender Dragon, as well as a sufficient amount of Ender Pearls. These could get me out of sticky situations. After that, I set off in search of some more chickens I could kill for feathers. On the way, I found sweet berry bushes which I harvested for later. This could be good for a trap. As night fell, I found a group of chickens, which I took out swiftly with my diamond sword. However, I wasn't alone. I was ambushed by a group of spiders. Sweet! Easy string. I took them out and got loads of string, which I used to craft a crossbow and a new fishing rod. One step closer to the end. All of a sudden, Bronzo came out of nowhere.
Found you!
He took out a potion of speed and chugged it down, making him extremely fast.
Let's see you outrun me now.
Easy! I drank my own potion of swiftness and ran. We were still neck and neck. I was never gonna shake him off at this rate, but I got an idea. Hope you like berries! I planted the sweet berries, slowing down Bronzo's speed tremendously. This bought me just enough time to place down and light some TNT. Enjoy the fireworks! The TNT blew up, killing Bronzo. Alright, I just need some armor. On days 75 through 78, I headed to the mines in search of diamond. I wanted a full set of diamond armor to take on the Ender Dragon. I mined and mined until I finally had enough for a full upgrade. I crafted what I was missing and completed my diamond armor set. Now that's more like it. Just then, Hana popped out from above me.
Some shiny armor won't stop us. How about a bit of lava?
She poured a bucket of lava over my head and it quickly began to seep down out over me. Luckily, I was able to run out of the way before it could hit me.
Ow! Whoops! Come back here!
Hana then chased me through the mine. We were neck and neck, and I couldn't seem to throw her off my tail. We ran blindly until realizing we had stumbled into the den of a monster. Thankfully, he was in the middle of a nap. Okay, we gotta be quiet. I knew I was no match for the monster, but so did Hana. We proceeded with caution, sneaking through the cave to not wake him up. Just as I thought freedom was close, Hana jumped at me with an attack, causing the monster to wake up.
Uh-oh.
While Hana was stuck with the monster, I took the opportunity to make my escape. On days 79 through 82, I narrowly escaped the mine only to find Bronzo waiting for me at the exit.
I figured you'd get away from Hana. So now it's time for Plan C. Emerge, my boy!
Suddenly, a lone Bronzo bot emerged from hiding. How do you keep getting these?
I have my ways. This is my new 3.0 model, and the best one yet!
What are they gonna do? Run at me?
Yes! And fire missiles!
What?
Get him, Bronzo bots!
The bot immediately started to launch powerful missiles at me. Each one that landed destroyed the earth around it. I was no match. If I wanted to survive, I would have to use my wit. I ran to a nearby lava pit and waited for the Bronzo bot to come into my range of attack. A little closer? Once they were close enough, I used my fishing rod to pull the Bronzo bot into the lava below.
My boy! My sweet child!
Beep boop. Father, thank you for everything.
No!
I don't think I should be here. I awkwardly went on my way. On days 83 through 86, I finally had everything I needed to fight the Ender Dragon. I don't like traveling at night, but I don't have a second to waste. I began using my Eyes of Ender to locate the nearest stronghold. While searching, I noticed phantoms in the sky looming overhead. Wait, I haven't slept at all, have I? The phantoms swooped down and attacked. I fended them off with relative ease, but they were really annoying to kill. I don't have time for this! I have a dragon to slay! I took out the remainder of the phantoms and went on my way. I kept up the pace, seemingly getting closer to an ender portal. On my way, I accidentally stumbled into a pillager outpost. Oops, didn't mean to come in here.
Intruder.
Yeah, sorry, I was instantly swarmed by loads of pillagers ready to take me down. I tried to maneuver around them, but they were ruthless. I took out whoever got in my way and sprinted off to find the ender portal. Jeez, so many things are trying to slow me down. Just then, I ran face first into a wall and passed out. When I came to, I was inside a strange, dark realm. Where am I? What is this place? I have speedrunning to do!
As do I, young one.
Out of the darkness, the real Dream emerged. Oh my gosh, Dream? Like the actual Dream? It's so nice to meet you. I'm a big fan.
Thank you, Max. But now isn't the time. You're bad at this.
I know, but I'm trying my best. How am I supposed to beat this darn game when I got deathbots and friends chasing after me?
Hey, I have the same issues. Just focus and get good, kid.
I just want to be like you.
In time. Remember, everyone has to start somewhere.
Just like that, he was gone. Okay, I just need to focus. You got this, Max. I then woke up back in the overworld. What the? Did I just dream about meeting Dream? How long was I out? I have to go! On days 87 through 90, I continued to travel, but I was feeling a bit out of luck. Where is this place? I don't want all my Eyes of Ender to shatter. I pressed onward, venturing through multiple biomes. Just as I felt like I might be getting closer, Bronzo appeared, decked out in full diamond armor. Dang, you've been busy.
So have you, but I'm afraid your journey ends here.
Can't I just rest for like 5 minutes, dude?
You agreed to this challenge, so we're not going to make it easy on you.
Fine, bring it on! We rushed in to battle it out. My speedrunning skills outmatched his fighting abilities, but his diamond armor helped him immensely. We were neck and neck in terms of health, but I was clever. I clutched off the cliff, but Bronzo was ready to follow.
You think that can stop me? I have a bucket of water.
I came prepared for everything. Just as Bronzo was about to land, I placed out a crafting bench, ruining his clutch. Sorry, Bronzo, I'm finishing this run. I continued forward, but I had a sinking feeling that someone was watching me. I've had this sensation before, but what was it from? Just then, the Wither appeared in front of me.
Aha! I found you, Max. Prepare for the worst speedrun time ever.
Dude, it's been weeks! Do you really have nothing better to do than follow me around?
I am an entity with a sole purpose to kill. What else am I supposed to do?
I don't know. Find another hobby. Have you tried knitting?
I'll stick with killing players, thank you.
The Wither once again charged at me. Unfortunately for them, this time I was much stronger. They started with an onslaught of explosive skulls from the sky above. I tried my best to evade his attacks and used my bow and arrows to chip him down, but they weren't doing enough damage. After a lot of fighting, I thought I was toast.
Come on, Max. Give up now.
Never! I ran into a nearby cave and the Wither followed me, falling right into my trap. Once we were inside, the cave ceiling forced him to fight at my level. I used my diamond sword to start landing massive attacks onto him. Using all the strength I had, I struck the Wither, killing it. Yes! I did it! Upon his death, the Wither dropped nothing. What? Come on! What is with my RNG? After that, I kept moving. Too many things were slowing me down. On days 91 through 93, I was getting incredibly close to the stronghold, but my journey was interrupted by none other than Princess Hana. You too?
Of course! And I have just what I need to stop you once and for all. Turn around.
I did what she said, revealing a ton of cute little robots. Oh, that's adorable.
Thanks! I called them my Doki Daisy Deathbots.
You're what?
Right? Aren't they cute? They are perfect for catching speedrunners.
I'm a speedrunner.
Beep boop. Destroy Max.
The Deathbots began to attack me. They were small, but they packed a punch, especially with Hana as their aid. I was no match for their numbers. This is a waste of time! I ran away and gained enough space between us to set a trap. I placed a bunch of TNT down, and as soon as they caught up, I lit it on fire. I managed to destroy the entire fleet.
No! My Doki Doki Daisies!
Gotta keep moving. On days 94 through 95, I finally arrived at the stronghold. Jeez, that took forever. I don't think I'm very good at speedrunning. I walked through the place, exploring all of its nooks and crannies. After a while, it felt like I was getting lost. This place is a maze. I was losing hope, but I had to push on if I was gonna finish the challenge. While exploring, I found a chest with a potion of strength inside. This could be useful. After traveling through the stronghold for what felt like hours, I found the end portal. All right, Max, this is for all the marbles. I placed all my ender eyes into the portal, activating it. Just as I was about to jump through though, Hana and Bronzo showed up.
End of the line, Max.
Nuh-uh, I'm ending this. And with that, I jumped through the portal. On days 96 through 98, I made it to the end, ready to slay the Ender Dragon. Hana and Bronzo were hot on my tail, and there were Endermen everywhere. Don't look in their eyes, don't look in their eyes! I sprint jumped away through the Endermen and towards the dragon, but the hunters kept attacking me.
Come on, Max. Don't you want to fight us too?
Tick-tock, your time is running out.
I'm trying to fight a dragon! I attempted to fight them off, but they were just wasting my time. Ugh, this is getting me nowhere! I then had the bright idea to use the Endermen to my advantage. I began hiding behind them to cause the hunters to look into their eyes. Just as I planned, the Endermen began attacking Hana and Bronzo.
Ah! Why did we learn from the piglins?
While they were tangled in mobs, I took the chance to engage the Ender Dragon and end this speedrun. Time to go for the pillars. On day 99, I started by taking out the pillars. I couldn't beat the dragon if she was always healing. Using whatever blocks I had on hand, I climbed to the peak of one of the pillars and took out my crossbow. I used it to snipe down as many end crystals as I could from my current vantage point. Alright, clutching time. I took out my water bucket and used it to clutch down to the bottom of the pillar. Unfortunately for me, Hana was waiting. She scooped up the water before I could.
Try clutching now.
Okay, gotta adapt. I moved on to my next set of pillars and scaled to the top. Here, I once again shot down all the end crystals I could using my crossbow until there was only one remaining. I took out my hay bale and used it to clutch to the bottom of the tower. However, Hana was there waiting for me.
Take this.
She slashed at me with her diamond sword, but I didn't have a second to waste on her. I sprint jumped away and began to climb the final pillar.
You're not the only one who can climb.
Hana took out blocks of her own and scaled up the tower as well. I managed to reach the peak of the final tower, but so did she. She rushed to me before I could hit the final crystal and knocked me off.
Yes, we did it!
This would have been the end, but I had come prepared. I used my extra ender pearls to teleport to the ground right before meeting my doom. I knew those extra pearls would come in handy. I used another pearl to teleport back to the peak of the tower and destroy the final end crystal. I then used my sword to defeat Hana once and for all. Alright, now just the dragon. On day 100, I began setting up my first bed to take out the dragon. Luckily, I had gotten my water back from Hana. Now I just need to wait for the dragon to perch down, and that's when I strike. Requiring careful timing, I waited for the opportune moment. Until suddenly, Bronzo hopped onto my bed, interrupting my strategy. Get out of the way, Bronzo!
You can't blow up the dragon with me in the way.
Okay, then I'll just blow you up.
Wait, what?
I blew up Bronzo with the bed I had placed and continued my run to finish the game. Next time I need to use water. I continued waiting for the perfect moment, when finally the dragon made its way to the middle, giving me a chance to do serious damage. So close! I'm almost done! I dodged the dragon's attacks until I saw the perfect time to strike. Come on! Come on! The Ender Dragon made its way back down to the middle, so I rushed in to take it out. I placed the bed, ignited it, and took the dragon down. Yes! I did it! But man, my time is awful! Out of nowhere, the real Dream showed up again.
Congratulations, Max, on beating the game.
But my time, it was so bad.
Like I told you before, young one, it's not about where you start, but where you finish. Try again.
You're right, Dream. Thank you.
Of course. And hey, if you made it this far, you might as well subscribe.
Huh?
Nothing.
Dream then walked away, leaving me alone in the end. Dream's right. I just gotta keep practicing. Time to beat the game again. Surely I'll beat this